Pause that game. We're back with more Nerd Radio.
Honestly, I hate working here. They are so weird.
I like that drop.
Yeah, me too.
A good drop.
Watching Iron Man 3 on the network or on Disney Plus and saw the scene where that guy just drops his gun and says, honestly, I hate working here. They're so weird. I'm like, it's good. God, I need that. I need that.
My question is, you mentioned that that does not make it onto the recording, so Twitch heard it and everything. Do you make sure you get the right thing, or
now
are we commenting on a completely different piece?
Now I have to. I absolutely have to.
He plays the one where it's you talking.
Yeah.
That's a great drop. Like, isn't it just Al's voice?
Yeah, it sounds awesome.
It's
Play that
amazing.
one every time.
It's absolutely
Making drops
fantastic.
of
What
themselves?
an a-hole. Yeah.
Al Beck and James joining me for another week here, and of course Nate Bender hanging out with us for a little bit of Nerd Radio. What's coming up on Checkpoint XP next couple of weeks, man?
So we're kind of looking at our holiday shows coming up in the next couple of weeks. So we're going through a whole bunch of changes in terms of the website content, but listeners can expect a new episode of Checkpoint AFK this week, and we'll talk a little bit more about what's happening with the brand on that show.
That's excellent. And definitely, speaking of being thankful, definitely thankful that you guys let us come in here on a weekly basis.
You're always welcome.
Studio. It's fantastic.
We love playing with their fancy toys.
It's true. Absolutely true. So over the Thanksgiving weekend, did anybody watch any football?
No.
Even I think I'm the most likely to have, and I did not.
Okay, because apparently during the Thanksgiving game, they had a commercial for the new Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order game, and there's a scene near the end of the game that's kind of a big reveal of a particular character.
Major spoiler.
It's in the commercial.
Yeah.
So if you hadn't played the game yet, then you'd be like, oh, so-and-so's in the game. And then you would play the game for X amount of hours, and then that would be the big reveal. And you'd be like, well, I already knew that.
Now, this is why I don't watch trailers for things.
Right.
Because of stuff like that right there.
But, I mean, if you're just watching football, though, and, they serve up the commercial for you, you won't know any better. And that's
true. But if I don't start the new Star Wars movie as a trailer that I'm avoiding, and if that comes on, I will leave the room.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So our co-host Joe had actually played through Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
And when he read this story, he was like, "Oh my God, that was one of the best reveals of the whole game."
And they blew it in the commercial.
Yeah, I would have been devastated if I knew that was coming.
Right. So that sucks. But hopefully you guys didn't get hit by that while over the Thanksgiving weekend.
Now I can't wait till we're done with the show because I got to talk to you guys to find out what this big reveal is. Because I might buy the game, but I'm probably not going to put in the hours to completely play it.
Right.
I'm curious about who it is. We'll wait, and we don't want to put the spoiler in the show, but we all know I'm never going to play it. I would like to.
Are you
but
kidding? It's like my Final Fantasy 15 thing. By the time you get to it, you'll have forgotten what the spoiler was anyway. So it'll still be a big reveal. I also noticed one of the places that I go to for my video game news over the Thanksgiving weekend, one of their writers posted something about just finishing Final Fantasy 15, and I'm like, cool, it wasn't just me.
Right.
It waited like 2 goddamn years to finish this game.
I hope
I stalled out like 15 hours in.
Yeah, it's rough to get through. I feel rewarded that I finished it. And I definitely, James thinks I'm insane, but I definitely want to play it a second time. Definitely want to go through New Game Plus.
You barely enjoyed it the first how many hours? You were like, I've played this game for like 20 hours. I don't know if I like it or not.
Right.
You've already put 20 hours in. I would hope you at least enjoy it because my time is precious. If I'm putting 20 hours in something, I better be getting paid or it better be a good time.
See, right. I have the same problem with the Outer Worlds.
You just described my love life right there.
See, I have the same problem with the Outer Worlds. Like, I got 10 hours into it, and I went, why am I playing this? Like, I'm not really having a whole lot of fun.
Dude, I'm with you, but I'm only like maybe 3 hours in. And I'm
right?
Like, this was really fun at first, but I'm like, there's so much damn reading.
Yeah.
Do I have to? Why does every non-NPC character I deal with have to have a friggin' 4-page novel of different things they want to talk to me about? I just want to go shoot stuff with a shrink ray like I see on the TV commercials.
I will go back to what I said before about Final Fantasy 15. It was a game that did not actively hate me, and that is why I just stuck around, because it wasn't, I didn't feel like the game was just punishing me for playing it. So that's why I'm like, I think I'll keep going.
Also describing Al's love life.
Didn't punish me. Chris Berg on Twitch too said that he's taken Al's advice and stopped watching trailers, but then he also pulls an Al and waits 6 months to watch the movie.
Yeah.
But I figured you would appreciate that, Al.
Your
I'll share that with you.
huge. Your influence is huge.
Yeah.
You're an influencer now.
I know.
You are.
I am an influencer.
You're gonna get that little blue check on Instagram.
Oh, sweet. Can't wait. There's no one trying to be me. I don't need the blue check. It's no one pretending to be me.
While we're talking about trailers, they did release the teaser trailer for Black Widow coming out, the next Marvel movie coming out next year. So we got to see a glimpse of David Harbour as Red Guardian, and that's looks like it's going to be a fun movie. It's supposed to take place between Infinity War and Civil War. Is where it falls in the timeline, but it looks like there's a couple of other
between Infinity War and Civil War. Didn't
Civil
War happen before?
Civil War happens before. Yeah. Infinity War.
Between the
Civil War is when everybody
reversed the
divides
order.
up, and then
That
everybody
makes
comes
sense.
back together during Infinity War. So this takes place dead in the middle of that part of the timeline. But you're going to see a couple of different people from the Black Widow program. Rachel Weisz is going to be in this movie. Florence Pugh, and I don't know. It looks like it's going to be another good Marvel movie. It looks like it'll be a fun time. Speaking of Marvel movies too, I had to tell James about this because I'd be surprised if you guys didn't already talk about this in Dave and Chuck. Josh Brolin.
Oh yeah,
Posted.
I know exactly where you're going with this one.
Posted on Instagram that he tried out the perineum sunning and sunburned his butthole.
Yeah, I mean that'll happen. You got your legs over your head. You got your butthole exposed directly to the sun. You're gonna get a sunburn if you're not using the proper SPF. But I also don't know how much I actually believe he actually tried it. Josh Brolin, I feel like he's not the guy who's like, you know what I need to do to make my life better?
Yeah.
Get some sun on my a-hole. Like, I feel like he's got other ways to make his life better.
Well, how else is he going to get a sunburned a-hole?
Exactly the kind of joke he would make too, though. I mean,
yeah, I guess that's
true.
true.
So I don't know, it was funny.
All I know is that the neighbors in my condo don't appreciate it.
But hey, is your life improving? Are you feeling better about yourself? Are you feeling healthier?
Yes.
Not really.
So you're pissing off your neighbors and you're not feeling a difference.
All of the negative energy coming off of my neighbors is that's
Maybe your butthole is actually pulling all the negative energy from your neighbors straight into you, and you're becoming more of a negative person.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be doing it on our front lawn.
Yeah, well, especially now that it's like 30 degrees.
Yeah,
you definitely don't want to be doing it now.
Oh, maybe that's the problem.
Are you still fully dressed other than you just have like some pants that you
of
took
course
the
not. Why would
thing
you
out
do
so you
that?
could just
you
sun
go
that?
fully nude, huh?
Yeah, fully nude.
I
All right.
think you should Winnie the Pooh it. You know, it's
Pooh
like
Bear, the Pooh
Donald
Bear.
Duckett. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. This is something I wanted to talk about too because this cracks me up. So, Al, what was the game that you and your brother played?
Empire Earth
On the computer.
game,
Okay. Yeah, because this is not that game, but it is a game similar to that, Civilization.
Okay. Yeah.
Civilization 4 is on the Switch, and right now there's a glitch on it that causes the game to crash just before the player claims victory.
Oh, balls!
And the only way they've figured out, there's a Reddit thread about this, the only way they figured out to get around that glitch is to declare war before your last turn.
Oh.
So the only way to win Civilization is to declare war.
Okay. All right.
I love the idea. It's one of those games where, you're managing resources and trying to like take over the world, but you can do it diplomatically or you can do it, militaristically or whatever like that. But the only way to actually win at the moment
I will kill you.
is to just kill the other guy.
All right. It's a fun glitch.
Yeah, it cracks me up.
I do like Civilization, but it doesn't fill the void in my heart that Empire Earth left.
Empire Earth, yeah. Was Empire Earth, was there space battles and stuff in Empire Earth?
There
as
was
well?
an expansion pack where you could get into space.
Okay.
The original one you had like nano cyborgs and stuff that you could get up to, but
Right.
I usually stopped it in the atomic modern age.
Yeah, all those games I've never been really good at them. So like I would think I was doing well, and then like 3 hours later I would come up against the computer, and somehow he's been doing way better than I have, and he just walk right through me.
Oh yeah,
To the point that I just stopped. It's a genre of games that I stopped bothering to try and play because I'm like I'm not gonna be good at this.
Desperately want
put
to
in
play
the
that
cheat
game
code
again.
and get unlimited resources.
That's what I used to do in SimCity on the Super Nintendo.
Me too. That's the only way.
Right
only
from the-
time I played it. You
right
do it
from
right
the-
at the beginning.
Right from the beginning.
Yeah.
You
So
could-
none of the earthquakes affect any of your stuff.
Yeah.
You get all that cash. Then you got like
you can
living,
just build at whatever city you
living
want.
large.
It's good stuff. Also, Nate, I wanted to tell you. So Nate's been trying to sell me on WWE 2K19.
Yeah.
Ever since you tried 2K20 and hated it.
2K20 is a dumpster fire.
It is. It's the worst. It's unplayable.
It's not good.
Oh, it's because that's right. You've got a casual gamer thing coming up too.
Yeah, we'll have
James.
that,
So you finally tried it out as
Yeah,
well.
I finally played it, and I got downloadable content for pre-ordering the game that I've redeemed. I can't find anywhere in the game. I can't. I'm like, I don't know where the heck the Fiend Bray Wyatt is. I can't find any of the zombie characters.
That you don't get that until the first DLC pack is out, and it's out, kinda. Not really.
Kind of?
Yeah, no, this is
How do
actually
you release downloadable content? Kind of.
This is a problem because exactly what James experienced, you download it and then it's not there in the game.
It's ridiculous. Like the controls nothing works.
It's
the
broken.
controls don't work.
It's literally broken.
That
so,
sucks.
and here's the thing. Here's why I say, if you're a wrestling game fan, get 2K19 because at some point it's going to become a collector's item. Because, they're not fixing it for 2K21.
Right.
This is a deeper problem that exists. The root of this problem is because Ukes, a development company who has been developing WWE games since
Forever.
SmackDown 2000
Right.
was, I think, their first game. They decided we're going to go a different direction and we're going to leave all of the digital assets and all of the work that we did with 2K. And 2K is such a dismal development company that with all of the work already done, they couldn't get their act together to make a modified version of 2K19 function. So at some point, this is going to be known as the last functional WWE game until another development company gets its hands on the license.
Interesting. Well, I've tried to get my hands on a copy of 2K19. A week ago, I went to the local, video game store that had used games, and it's like $14. And I'm like, I can spend $14. Well, the only copy they had, the disc was kind of scratched, so they gave it to me for $10 because they thought it might not work. It didn't.
No.
So over the weekend, I believe it was on either Black Friday. Yeah, it was on Black Friday. One of the chain stores had a buy 2 used games get 1 free. So I'm like,
Nice.
perfect. This is I can go online and I can order it, and I got that and a couple other games. And the first thing is I had them delivered to my house. They delivered each game separately. They all three games were
Why?
packaged separately from
God.
different places and all showed up last night.
Ugh.
All showed up on the same day anyways. But so I was excited. Hey, I got my 2K19 and I opened it up and that disc is trashed.
Oh, no.
So this is 2 in a row. I'm having a hard time finding myself a copy of 2K19, but I believe it'll happen.
That sucks. And here's something that I learned this morning about 2K20. If you have 2K20 and you want to upload custom images to 2K19, if you bought 2K20, you can't do that anymore.
Really?
Yeah. You have to go buy a fresh copy of the game or buy it on a new account on Steam for you to upload custom images to it again.
Jesus.
It's insane. The number of problems that this game has is insane. So the rumor that I keep hearing is that the reason Ukes left WWE is to possibly work on the AEW video.
Oh, that's you're just you want that to be true.
No, that's
wishful thinking.
That's the rumor, man. Because the statement that Ukes put out is that we've been working on the WWE titles for so long. This is the only wrestling game that's out there. There's no competition. We want to provide some competition.
I almost feel like the AEW is not big enough to where they're gonna make enough money.
I
if they
agree.
put out a game.
I agree.
So I don't
Yeah,
know
if they
that would
if they
work.
do an AEW game, there's definitely the creative character is going to be a big part of it.
Yeah, because
the
for me, part
roster
of my
is
problem
not-
with sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No, it's
Part of
just,
my problem with AEW right now is there's not enough recognizable people that they put on TV. So I'm just there I'm going to see what Le Champion.
Yeah.
There's not enough.
There,
really keep them.
okay, so in my 2K19, I literally created AEW in universe mode, right? So I downloaded their entire roster, which is only about 52 wrestlers deep. And yeah, that is a big problem. You can't make a wrestling video game with only 52 characters in 2020. It just doesn't work.
that's a fascinating problem to me too. That you only have 52 characters to choose from. Like,
Right?
I remember when fighting games. Remember Street Fighter had like 6 guys or 8 guys.
But,
Or Mortal
but
Kombat.
if you put out Street Fighter in 2020, people would look at that and go, "That's not acceptable."
I know, and
You know?
that's fascinating.
Yeah.
They want a roster like Smash Brothers.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
But I
If you
think
don't
that's
have-
one thing that WWE 2K20 got right. There's such a huge selection of WWE superstars, past and present, whether you have to buy them or not. They're still available to play in the game. And I thought they nailed the selection of characters that you can have. Anybody from NXT, SmackDown,
Right.
Raw, like old school Hall of Famers, like everybody is in there.
Yeah.
There's always, it's funny too, because when going back to like the original SmackDown games on the PlayStation, there's always a handful of guys you're like, how did you get in this game? What are the headbangers doing in here?
Oh man, the Headbangers, that's a blast from the past.
How did Val Venus get in
remember
the
those guys,
SmackDown
yeah.
game? What is this about?
Val Venus too. There's another blast from the past. Hello, lady.
What is Greg the Hammer Valentine doing in a wrestling game in 2019 anyway?
Yeah, well, he's a Hall of Famer.
You're not wrong.
For having the hammer.
He's still got some fans.
All right.
They're playing video games. Though.
Well, that's going to do it for this week's Nerd Radio.
Well,
Thank you.
before we go, we got to mention the fact that we lost D.C. Fontana
Oh, yes.
from the Star Trek writer. I'm wearing, as you can see, my Star Trek shirt today.
Yes.
Yeah. But big writer, big time on that writing staff. She just passed away, Dorothy Fontana.
Is there a particular episodes people would recognize? That
The
she'd
one I
done?
chose to watch the other day when I found out was Tomorrow Was Yesterday.
Okay.
It's one where they end up back in the 60s and they meet a fighter pilot and they have to go, back, figure out a way to transfer him or transport him back home,
Right.
so he doesn't remember the future stuff he sees, but also, and then they got a slingshot around the sun and
She
get
worked
back
on
in
the
future as
original
well.
series, right?
Original series predominantly, but also was a part of the Next Generation. She wrote Encounter at Farpoint, the pilot episode of Next Gen. So I think she wrote 10 episodes of the original series, but I mean, those writer rooms, obviously, you're just, you're bouncing ideas off of each other,
Yeah.
and you're a big part of it all. So, but no, she was a big part of the behind the scenes of Star Trek, and she just passed away at the age of 80. So we gotta at least mention her
Absolutely.
here at the end. Not to end on a down note, but 80 years old, man. She gave us a lot of good sci-fi.
Yeah, I wonder if she had anything to do with the Picard series that's coming out too.
I don't know. I don't know if she was all that involved in that or not, but there was a lot of really crazy stuff. Gene Roddenberry was a little bit of a kook, as you can imagine.
You think?
But there's a documentary that's Chaos on the Bridge, which is talking about starting off Next Generation and some of the insanity that was going on behind the scenes. And Dorothy Fontana was a big part of that. Had a lot of stuff that she talked about in that documentary, so you can kind of see her talk about working on Star Trek.
Nice.
Again, amongst the insanity that was Next Gen, but I just want to throw that in there.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week right here on Checkpoint XP's Twitch channel. You can, of course, check us out on YouTube. You can find us on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook at Nerd Radio 101. You can find us right back here for the Nerd Radio podcast next week.